Now, method number 3, and we're stepping it up a bit in terms of difficulty. So that's your difference to do squares, highest common factor. That's 2 already. Now we have grouping. So grouping, factorizing by grouping is very obvious, okay? Because it's the only one really where there are 4, where there are 4 terms. So what do I mean by that? Where there's literally 4 things like that. So that's what terms means. If there's 4 terms and they say to factorize it, it's going to be grouping. So grouping, we use highest common factor, but what we do is we use highest common factor on 2 of them individually. So again, there's steps up here, but steps only really make sense once you've seen the maths. So that's kind of like when you have the solutions and you're looking through it, you'll be able to follow the steps and, oh yeah, that's where he did that, okay? So the first thing we do, we have 4 terms, so it's going to be a grouping question. We kind of split it down the middle. We're not actually splitting it down the middle, but we're thinking about, sorry, there's something caught in the throat. We're thinking of the 2 things on the left separately to the 2 things on the right. And what we do is we apply highest common factor to both of them. So we apply highest common factor to this. So again, this is method number 1. What can we pull out of 9 and 6? So we look at the numbers first. What number can we pull out of both of them? We can't pull out 6 because 9 divided by 6 doesn't work. The highest number is 3. Then we look at the letters. The letters, we have an a squared and an a. So what do we do with letters? We take the lowest power, so a. And then this thing has a b. This doesn't have a b, so we can't take it out. So that is our highest common factor, 3a. What do we do when we take it out? We draw a bracket. And then we ask ourselves the question, 3a multiplied by what will give me 9a squared? Well, we first look at the number, 3 by what gives me 9, that's going to be 3. A by what will give me a squared? Another a, because a times a is a squared. So that's our first one. Then we do 3a by what will give me minus 6ab. Look at the number first, 3 by what will give me minus 6. And that is going to be minus 2. We already have the a. We need to get that b. So what are we going to do? Attach on a b there. So we factorize the left. And now we do the exact same on the right. So if we look at these 2 terms now, we're going to apply highest common factor on them. And you wouldn't really write this line in the exam, but I'm just showing you now how we treat it. So then we look at this one. Again, we're applying factorization method number 1, highest common factor on the right. What number can we take out of both of them? What is the highest number? It's going to be 4. What else can we take out of both of these? We look at the letters. A, this one has an A, this doesn't. We can't take out an A. This one has a C. This one also has a C, so we can take that out. This one has a B, that one doesn't. So that's our highest common factor. Once we've taken that out, we then say 4c by what will give me 12ac. We first start with the number. 4 by what gives me 12. That's going to be 3. We have the c. We need that a, so we attach on the a. And then that's that first one done. We look at the next one then. 4c by what will give me minus 8bc. We need to go from 4 to minus 8. So we're going to multiply by minus 2. 4c by minus 2 is minus 8. We have the c. We need the b. Okay? And that's a plus 4c that we've taken out. Does that make sense to everyone, what I've just done there? Hands up. Yeah? So you apply the highest common factor to them, and you apply it on the other side. Now here's the thing to remember, and you know you're right with grouping. If these brackets here are the same, you know you've done the question right. And that is what you need to remember. If these brackets are the same, which they are, 3a minus 2b, 3a minus 2b, they are the same, you know you've done it right. And then the last step, we make 2 brackets, okay, like this. And what goes in one of them is the shared thing. And what goes in the other one is what's on the outside. So one of the brackets will be 3a plus 4c, what's on the outside, and the other bracket will be what's the common one, 3a minus 2b. Okay? And that's your final answer. So you look at the 2 on the left and the 2 on the right. And you don't always do that, which we'll see in a second. And once you do that, you apply highest common factor to the 2 on the left and highest common factor to the 2 on the right. And once you do that, you should be left with 2 brackets like this that have the same bracket. And if the brackets are the same, we've done the question right. So the final step then is the shared bracket is going to be one of the factors, and the other factor is going to be what's left on the outside. Now, sometimes what we have to do, and by the way, we can do 3a minus 2b times 3a plus 4c. So it doesn't matter which way we write the brackets, because brackets, what does brackets mean in algebra? It means multiplication. And we know that 5 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 5. So it doesn't matter which way we write the brackets, just in case you're wondering. So now, sometimes what we want to do is we want to reorder the terms. Okay, that was a nice starter question, but sometimes we want to pair two together with nicer pairs or nicer factors. For example, what we tend to do is we look at the numbers. So this 8 and this 4 here. We notice that we can take out the highest common factor of 4 out of that and an a. We then look at the other two. We see that this is a 7 and this is a 14, which again, 7 and 14, that's nice, you can take out a 7. Whereas if we look at the first two, 8 and 14, the highest number we can take out there is 2. So sometimes what we want to do is reorder them. So I'm just going to rewrite, I'm not factorising yet, I'm just rewriting things. So I'm going to pair the 4 and the 8 together. So 8ax plus 4ay, and then I'm going to pair the minus 7 and the minus 14, minus 14bx, minus 7by. And again, why am I allowed to do that? Which is important. If we're adding things, 5 plus 3 plus 2, let's say minus 1, it doesn't matter which way we add them. 2 plus 3 plus 5 minus 1, it's all the same. So we're allowed to just reorder terms. Does that make sense? Hands up. Yeah? So we reorder it, and we do it, we always look at the numbers. So 8 and 4, they're good factors, 14 and 7. And then again, what do? We kind of split it down the middle, and we take out the highest common factor. So we're taking out the highest common factor on the left. That's going to be 4. The number is 4. And then this has an a, this is an a, so we take out the a. This has an x, that doesn't have an x. This is y, this doesn't have a y. So 4a is our highest common factor. Once we pull that out, we're asking ourselves 4a by what will give me 2a, or 8ax. And that is going to be 4 by what gives me 8, 2. We have the a, so we already have that, and we need it to attach on the x. Then you do 4a by what will give me 4ay. We already have the 4a, we just need to attach on a y. And now, here is where it gets a bit tricky. So again, we're looking at these two on the right, but we notice that the inner bracket is positive, okay? So we notice that this is positive. And we also know, if we want to get this question right, that this next bracket should be the same. So if I were to take out a plus 7, for example, a plus 7b, I'm going to be left with a minus 2x, which isn't going to be a plus 2x. So what you do here is we take out that minus. Okay, so we take out the minus out of both of them. So the highest common factor of this and this, we look at the numbers, which is 14 and 7. The highest number is 7. We see that they share a b. We take out a minus 7b. And again, x here, no x there, y here, no y there. So minus 7b is our highest common factor. Once we've taken that out, you're asking yourself, minus 7b by what gives me minus 14bx? Minus 7b by 2 anyways, to give us minus 14. A plus by a minus is still a minus, so minus 7 by 2 is minus 14. We have the b, and then we attach on the x. Minus 7b by what will give me minus 7by? Again, it's going to be a plus, because a minus times a plus is a minus. So minus 7b times what gives me that? We have the 7b, we need to just attach on the y. Okay, and now if we realize we have a shared bracket, so we've done it right. So then the final step, we make two brackets like this, and what goes in one of them is what's on the outside. So your 4a minus 7b, and what goes in the other one is the shared one, so 2x plus y. Yeah, so that's a bit trickier with that minus, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. So we reorder the terms. Yeah. Okay, I'll do another one here. So again, they can be tricky. So this one looks a bit trickier, but the first thing I'm doing here is I'm seeing that this 3 and this 3. So I might want to pair them together. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the PM and the minus M together, and then I'm going to do the plus 3p minus 3. So what can I factor out of the first thing? Well, we have a PM out of the first two. We have an m in common. Okay, that is the only thing we have in common there. So we take out that m by what gives me pm, that's going to be p, m by what will give me essentially minus 1m, and it's just going to be a minus 1, okay? Because m times minus 1 is minus 1m. Then we look at the other one, so that's that factored out. We then look at 3p minus 3. What is the highest number we can take out of both of them? We can take out a 3. This is a p, this doesn't have a letter, so that's all we can take out. Once we've taken that out, 3 by what gives me 3p, and that's going to be a p. And then, so 3 by p, that's grand. Then we look at the next one, 3 by what will give me minus 3, and again, it's just going to be a minus 1. Minus 1 will just change that plus 3 into a minus 3. And again, we look at this, we see that the brackets are the same, we know we've done it right. But we're not done, but we know we've done it right. And the final step, we do outer bracket, m plus 3, times shared bracket, p minus 1. Okay? Hands up if people are feeling a bit more confident with that. Okay, I'll do this one now. So again, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the 5 and the 15. I want to pair them together because 5 and 2, we can't take out any number from them really. We can take out a 1. So 2 and 6 might go better together. So we're looking at this 5fh and we're going to look at the 15f together. And it's important as well that when we bring the plus 15f, it's the plus 15f, not that minus there. Okay, so plus 15f. So that's important. And then we're going to have a minus 2h squared and a minus 6h. So again, just reordering things to make it a bit nicer for ourselves. Pair the numbers. So we look at the numbers, 5 and 15, they're good together. 2 and 6, they're also good together. So we look at the 2 on the left. What is the number that we can take out of both of them? The highest number there is going to be 5. Okay? And then we look at the letters. They both share an f, so we can take that out. This one has a h, this one doesn't, so we can't take out the h. 5f is therefore our highest common factor. We then do 5f by what gives me 5fh. We have the 5f, we just need to attach on the h. 5f by what will give me 15f. 5, we look at the number, 5 by what gives me 15, and that's 3. We have the f already, so that's h plus 3, and that's completed. And again, what do we notice here? We notice the minus and the minus, and this thing, which we know this bracket should be, if we want to get it right, we know that this thing should have just plus h and plus 3. So what we're going to do again is take out that minus. Okay, so we take out the minus. What else can we take out from both of these? So we look at the numbers, 2 and 6. What is the highest number we can take out of both of them? That's going to be 2. Okay, then this one has a h squared, this has a h. We take the lowest power of h, which is just going to be h. Now, once we've taken out that highest common factor, we're asking ourselves minus 2h by what gives me this? So again, it's just going to be a plus, because a minus times a plus is a minus. And then we have the minus 2, and we have a h, we just need another h. So it's going to be plus h, okay? And then minus 2h for the second thing. Minus 2h by what gives me minus 6h. Again, it's going to be a plus, because a minus times a plus is a minus. And we want to go from minus 2 to minus 6, so it's going to be 3. We have the h already, and that's that. And we wouldn't really write in that plus there. So h plus 3. And again, what do we notice? We notice that both brackets are the same. So the final answer then is 5f minus 2h bracket h plus 3. So this one's a bit trickier again. Why is it tricky? Because everything doesn't seem to go together. This is the hardest one, by the way. Because we have no numbers, but we technically do. We have ones in front of all of them. So we can't really pair anything together. So we start looking at letters then. Well, this one has a y, this one has a y, so we can factor that out. We could put wy with w, but then again, minus y and minus 1 wouldn't have any highest common factor. So it's a hard question, but what we're going to do is do what we know. We're going to factorize the left, factorize the right. So what can we take out on the left? Well, we can take out a common y. They both have a y in common, technically a 1y. And then we say y by what gives me wy. We need to attach on that w. Okay, then y by what will give me a minus y. We have a plus, we need to get to a minus. It's just going to be minus, and we do minus 1. Y times minus 1 is minus 1y. Now if we look at this other one, and this is where it's weird. what do we technically have over here? We have minus 1 plus w, okay? Which if I rewrite that, we know that minus 1 plus w is the same thing as w minus 1. And if we notice here, what is this bracket? We want to try and match that bracket. That thing is that bracket. Minus 1 plus w is w minus 1 if we reorder it. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And how many of them do we have? So minus 1 plus w is w minus 1. Because again, 5 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 5. Okay, it doesn't matter which way we add them. Minus 1 plus w is w minus 1. But how many of that do we technically have? We technically have a 1 of them. Yeah, because if we multiply that out, 1 times w is w, 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. We're going to get back to there, but that's a sneaky trick to see. So we technically have a plus 1 w minus 1s. And then the final step, because that's the shared bracket, we know we're right. The final step is outer y plus 1 and the common one, w minus 1. And that plus 1 is so important, okay? Because if I didn't have that plus 1 here, well, then it would just be y times w minus 1, which won't give me back this thing here, okay? And again, you could look at it so like, you could look at it as w minus 1. Well, they share absolutely nothing together. The only thing we can take out is 1. And taking out 1 doesn't change anything, okay? But we technically do have 1 w minus 1s.